This episode of Hydro Show is sponsored by Hydromag, the UK's independent hydroponics magazine.
Right now, we're at Wortley Hydroponics in Leeds. Store owner Dean has very kindly invited us to talk about tents. Dean, how are you?
I'm alright, mate, yeah.
Yeah, good, I'm good. So Dean, we've got 3 tents here. Do you want to go into a little bit about them?
Yeah, basically we've got 2 premium tents. We've got the Secret Jardin, DR120, and also the Green Cube 1.2 metre tent, and we've also got a budget one. So we're trying to educate people, you know, if they do spend a little bit more money, it's going to be a lot more beneficial for the grow room.
Perfect. Well, should we start with the budget tent and we'll talk about that?
Yeah, that's fine.
Perfect. While we were setting up the budget tent, Dean gave us some very handy tips. First of all, he advised that one should always take care when opening the Growtents cardboard box with a knife. Tents are often packed quite tightly and you could end up cutting through the tent's fabric. His second tip was to take the main part of the tent from the packaging and unzip all the zips. Once you've done this, find the base of the tent and start erecting the poles within the fabric. This method is both quicker and easier, and it will help you prevent tearing the tent's fabric. So we've erected the budget tent now. We did it in pretty quick time, really. Should we just go through some of the teething problems that we've had with this particular one?
Yeah, we did find, obviously, the budget tent, the material is a lot thinner, so it's quite easy to tear them, especially if you're rushing or if you're constantly putting them up and taking them down, you know. And we also had a little bit of an issue with some of the zips, you know. Again, on the budget tent, the zips are not as good as the premium tent zip. Now,
we're not saying that all budget tents are like this, but just this particular one has had these faults, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's just, again, because it is a budget tent, the material's a lot thinner, and the zips don't tend to be as good as the premium tents.
Okay, well, we've got 2 premium tents.
Yeah.
Should we start with the Green Cube and we'll see how that fares up to this budget tent?
Yeah, we'll compare it, yeah.
Good stuff. While we were setting up the second tent, we noticed the physical size of both the Green Cube and Secret Jardin's packaging was about 50% bigger than that of the budget tent, a clear sign that you get more for your money with premium tents. Both premium tents came with a carry case, something you don't get with many budget tents. This can be particularly handy when moving the tent from one location to another. So that's the Green Cube now built. What would you say that was different about this in terms of putting up the budget tent that we did?
I think it's, obviously we can see straight away that the poles are a lot thicker, the construction is a lot more sturdy and rigid, you know, it's not flopping about flimsy. And then also we didn't have to worry about tearing it because the material is a lot stronger on the premium tent than what you get on a budget tent.
So you feel as though you don't have to really take as much care when you're building this?
No, that's right, that's right. There were no issue at all with tearing anything, and it's just an overall a better tent. You know, if you do spend that little bit more money, this is what you're going to get.
Okay, well, from one premium tent to another, should we build the Secret Jardin now and see what the differences are there?
Yeah, we can look at that one now.
Perfect.
Yeah, no probs.
There are literally hundreds of grow tents of all shapes and sizes available on the market today. When preparing for this presentation, we asked all of the major tent manufacturers to get involved. However, for various reasons, some of them declined. For a full breakdown of all tents available on the market today, see the Hydromag Grow Tents special coming to a Hydro store near you early in 2014. Okay, so we finally built our 3rd tent of the day. This is the second premium, the Secret Jardin. Yeah. And what can you tell us about this and how we built it?
Again, the build quality is a lot better. You can just see by, you know, trying to move it. It's a lot more rigid. And to be honest, I do think that the material, it feels a little bit thicker to me. I'd have to have a look at the specs just to make sure, but yeah, the Secret Jardin, obviously it is a premium tent, so it is going to cost you a little bit more money than the budget ones.
Well, we'll look at them all in detail, but at first glance, it's quite obvious to see the differences between the premium tent and the budget tent.
Definitely, yeah, definitely.
So the premium ones have got better build quality, and I feel as though they're more sturdy and will last longer.
A lot more rigid, you know, you're not going to have any issues, any worries about hanging anything in it and it's going to fall down, you know, so if it's peace of mind that you're after, I'd always go for a more expensive tent, a premium tent.
Agreed. So should we put all 3 tents together and then we can start to look at each one individually?
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got all 3 tents built and side by side now, and we'll look at the individual qualities of each one. We'll start with the budget tent, because that was the first one that we built.
Yeah.
So what can you tell me about the build quality and the features that you're likely to get with a budget tent?
Basically, as we've said before, the poles seem to be a lot thinner, you know, it's not as rigid as the premium tents. Basically, we'd also see that the material used is a lot thinner than the premium tents, so it could tear, you know, if you're not really careful with it, to be honest. There's a couple of air holes for your outtakes, one for your power. There's a viewing window. There's only seems to be one on the budget tent though, as well. So
you're not really getting any additional features. This is a bog standard tent.
Yeah.
With bog standard features.
Yeah.
It's thinner and it's not as durable.
Yeah.
And this is priced at?
These start at £99.
And is that a typical price for a budget tent?
For a budget tent, yeah. Yeah,
okay.
Very typical price, yeah.
Okay. Well, let's move on to the green cube then.
You can do.
So straight away the differences in the build quality and the features in this. There's more features clearly, but what else can you tell us about it?
Well, you can obviously see that the poles they've used for this tent are a lot thicker, which is giving you a lot more stability in the tent. Also, you seem to have more extraction holes. Well, we've got 5 here for your ducting for viewing windows. Also, a good feature of the green cube tent is this little bit here, where if you did have a reservoir outside the tent, you can also run your piping through there, nothing's getting in the way, which is a really nice touch actually to that tent. Again, the material is a lot thicker than the budget tent as well.
And how much is this one set?
These start around £165.
160. So for the extra £60, you're getting more features, more peace of mind, a steadier tent, and you could probably have this for years to come.
Yeah, and it'd be a lot easier to take up and down without tearing it. The zips are going to last a lot longer also. Okay.
And our final one then, should we have a look at the Secret Jardin?
Yeah. So again, on the Secret Jardin, we can see that poles are nice and thick. They've used a nice connecting piece, which does give you a lot more stability to the tent. Again, the material used is a lot thicker. Again, we've got 5 air socks for your extraction. We've also got 2 viewing windows on this tent as well. And again, the material is a lot thicker than the budget tent.
And how much does this set?
These are £145.
140.
Yeah.
So, and you're looking, you know, £40, extra £60 for this.
Yeah.
You are paying extra, but it's quite clear to see that you're getting a lot more features out of your tent.
You are, yeah. It's going to last you a lot longer because the zips are a lot better quality, so there's going to be no tears, no rips, you know, and it'll do the job.
Well, thanks for your time today, Dean, and thanks for inviting us to work with Hydroponics to look at these 3 tents.
Thanks for coming.
Well, there you have it, 1 budget tent and 2 premium tents. It's obvious to me that if you spend a little bit more money, you can get a lot more out of your grow room tent. More features, more stability, and less headache. Fact of the matter is, you get what you pay for.
Wortley Hydroponics, a new hydroponics superstore in Leeds.
Open 7 days a week.
Wortley Hydroponics.
Growing success.
Visit www.wortleyhydroponics.co.uk. Find us on Facebook and YouTube. This episode of Hydroshow is sponsored by Hydromag, the UK's independent hydroponics magazine.